All right, guys, well, I'm back today with what has become my absolute favorite EDC light on the market. This is the brand new NITECORE EDC23, and this is an overview of the specs and features and kind of detailed look at this particular light. I will be doing a long-term review on this light since I just received it from NITECORE for review. A little bit of backstory, I actually purchased the EDC25 myself from Amazon and absolutely fell in love with this light. I actually ran this light through Hurricane Helene, used it for all of my power outage scenarios, and actually used it in the rain, and it held up and functioned great. After that, I purchased the EDC27, love the OLED display on this, but wasn't a huge fan of the button interface because it felt just a touch different than the EDC25. They came out with the EDC29, but I didn't get a chance to review that. So when they came out with the EDC23 and asked me if I wanted to take a look, I said absolutely, because you can see the size difference really allows this to be a true EDC in almost every scenario. It combines the great feel of the original EDC25 push button design, but the OLED display, and on top of that has a manual lockout mode, which works out absolutely well. They've done everything you possibly could to make this one of the best EDC lights, and it's taken the spot in my collection. Now, this is not super cheap, but it's also not super pricey. If you look at other flat flashlights on the market from other companies, you can get well over $200. This one comes in with an MSRP or selling price right around $75, $80, depending on where you purchase it. I'll be leaving all of the relevant linking in the description below. Some of those will be affiliate links, so if you decide to click on them, it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you. Just find the one with the best price and purchase that, because these are absolutely awesome. Let's talk about those specs and features and how it's been performing, starting with what comes in the box. You get the light itself, you also get a lanyard, and you get the charging cable, and this is incredibly easy and intuitive to use, and I love the graphics and the overall design of the box because it tells you everything you know. IP54 waterproof rated, 2-meter impact resistant, the beam distance of up to 280 meters, as well as the max candela intensity. So it doesn't just give you the lumens, it gives you the candela to compare with other lights in the market, and this just doesn't pack a ton of lumens into one little area. It's got a great beam distance with it too, but it also allows you to use this close up as more of a floodlight. So great beam distance, great LEDs in here, and when you turn it on, it's got an auto proximity sensor. Now that proximity sensor only works when it's first turned on and it detects if it's in your pocket or not. So what a great option if you decided not to use that lockout mode. The lockout mode is pretty slick because normally a lot of times in the lockout modes, you're going to have to do a cycle through, long press, or double click depending on what light. This is simple. Pulled out of your pocket and you are good to go. Simple as that. Very intuitive, very easy to use, especially when you consider it's right here on the back. Flip it down and then you can access the light. Let's talk a little bit about that OLED screen. Now, this gives you a ton of information that you may want to have. So when you first click on the light, this is the power button right here. Now, right now, it's going to tell you what it's on. 1100 lumens, an hour and 26 minutes. You can actually cycle through 15 lumens. You have 39 hours of runtime. That's pretty darn awesome. Click it again, 65 lumens, 10 hours and 30 minutes of runtime. 200 lumens, 3 hours and 45 minutes. And then the high setting, 1100 at 125. Now, the other cool thing about this light is you can actually half press that, and it automatically goes into low lumen mode. It remembers the last setting you were at, so if you wanted to click on that high, you can simply full press. And if you were inside and were kind of walking, maybe to get a drink at night or at a campground or just reading, you can half press that and just look a little bit without completely lighting up the room. On the other side, there's the full large button right here. A half press, which is very intuitive, and you definitely hit a hard, rigid stop, goes to that blinding 2500 turbo, and it actually counts down how much turbo time you have left before it switches into high mode. Then it will also kind of show you the count until you can use turbo mode again, which is really awesome. Again, gives you a ton of information inside that OLED screen. A full press gets you to a strobe for a tactical or defensive scenario. Now, this is going to be very convenient, especially as an EDC light. If you have this and you're walking in a parking lot and somebody's approaching you and you're not sure their intentions, a little stroke to the eyes and a quick movement doesn't hurt to get out of a bad situation. Now, there's other deterrents I personally carry, but that is a nice touch, or as an alert strobe. Again, I'm going to reference Hurricane Helene. There was a lot of people in Hurricane Helene that were stuck in locations, in dark areas, that probably needed to signal things. Having that right there, having that ability to just quickly strobe signal allows people to detect you in some type of emergency or survival situation. I love the fact that this is actually slim. A flat flashlight carries very nice in your pocket, and you don't even know you're carrying it compared to some of the round counterpart flashlights that are on the market. I also love the fact that this one is a lot shorter than the EDC25. Now, this will not replace every single flat flashlight in my collection. Honestly, I love the EDC25. And if I'm going to be running this all evening, or I'm going to be running this and I've got a little bit more room in my pocket, maybe an extra spare pocket and some work pants, I'm going to run the EDC25, maybe the 27, or hopefully the new 29 when it comes out. But for a true everyday carry pocket light that you can actually slide in your pocket and use, this is absolutely critical. Again, you've got a maximum beam throw of 306 yards, but a low lumen mode right at the half press to navigate campsites at night and do a ton of different things. I love everything about this flashlight. I mean, I truly do. The only thing I could possibly think of on a light like this would be adding some type of firefly mode, like a 1 lumen, 2 lumen mode that would last for like a week for bug out prepping scenarios or power outage scenarios to use as like a reading light or something like that. Although that 15 lumens for 40 hours is pretty darn good. I don't want to start getting nitpicky because this is truly an amazing pocket EDC flashlight that doesn't completely break the bank, that gives you a ton of specs and features. Subscribe to the channel for the long-term review and evaluation of this light as I continue to carry this in my EDC rotation. But a huge shout out to NITECORE for sending this over. I don't have to send it back. Again, it's mine for review. Now, I mentioned earlier I didn't originally review with NITECORE because they wanted me to send them the video for them to review. They're not doing that. I get to say my honest opinions, post the video, and this is what you get. I can't wait to continue to carry this. I love it. I think you will too. All of the information and relevant linking will be in the description below. Again, some of those links are affiliate links, but if you click on them, it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you, just brings you right to the sale page. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.